Okay, we ready. Hello everyone, good evening. Tonight we have a few more new participants from the frozen land of up north. Am I correct? Are you also from Canada? Oh, okay, welcome. And of course, our good friend here, Tom Pettis. Yeah, is that the correct pronunciation? Yeah, he's joining us from Raleigh, North Carolina. South Carolina, sorry. North Carolina, okay. Welcome, good to see you again. Welcome to all of you. All right, how is everyone today? Of course, you're fine. What's new with you? How's the weather? I mean, you know, I'm looking at the intertemple views here, and I see how cold they seem to be at Jewel Mountain Temple. Look at them. They all have a lot of thick clothing, which reminds me of how cold it was in Manchuria when Master YongHua was practicing on his own. His mother died, and so they did the Chinese traditional shou xiao. And so he would stay by her grave by 3 years in the open. So he put an A-frame, put two pieces of plywood, maybe wood together, and to make an A-frame like this, and he would sit underneath and meditate all day, and have no kitchen, no bathroom. Ooh. And so, pretty impressive, don't you think? Huh? And exposed to the elements, the wind, and the snow and everything. And now look at JMT, they got it made. It's a little bit cold, but it's a good chance to become enlightened. When you meditate, the cold is very good for you. In contrast, all the Asian countries where it's a lot hotter in the summer and not as cold in the winter time, they struggle with their meditation practices. So China, Korea, and so forth are much more suitable for Chan practices in general. Okay, and so you see, it's the weather really ideal for more suitable for our spiritual practices. All right, anyone has any questions? Yes, 5.
Hello, Master. Some of us were talking about being interested in fasting next week, but Plato and I are very skinny, and especially me, I'm underweight actually. So I know it has something to do with probably my digestive system and stomach, but I'm wondering if it is safe to do this to some extent. Thank you. And Plato was wondering too for him.
Yeah. Well, it's not for everyone. So if you want to fast in the cases of those of you who are kind of skinny, then I would fatten you up first. Eat 3 or 4 meals until next week. And then you should gain about 5 pounds. That's enough. Okay, 5 to 7 pounds. That should be enough for you to try fasting. It's safer. All right? Or you could try the detox thing that we're trying new. And if you do it right, you should get immense benefits as well. Although it's not as demanding, as much suffering as the fasting. The detox also helps a lot. All right. Anyone else? Okay. I hope you're enlightened already because you have no more questions. Nothing else you need to learn. Yes, 6.
Thank you, Master. I was talking with Jeannie on the ride home yesterday, and she asked me, when we do the transference for Fo Chi, who are we transferring to? And I had to admit, I don't remember. Could you talk a little bit about the Fo Chi transference after the lecture and how that works?
How that works. Okay, the great transference is that every day that you recite the Buddha's name to try to get rebirth to the Pure Land, okay, you create a lot of merit and virtue through your individual practice. Oh, by the way, newcomers, you know the instruction we give the newcomers this year? Check out the Taiwanese food next door. Okay, it's cool. Okay, check it out. Okay. Anyway, sorry. So you create a lot of merit and virtue. You create a lot of blessings. At the end of the day, instead of keeping it all to ourselves, we give it out to everyone. In particular, we want to, on behalf of our parents, our relatives, and our loved ones, make the vow for rebirth to the Pure Land on their behalf. It's that Chinese thing where, and we bow, what is it? What do you say that? Chiu Sheng Jing Du, and you bow 3 times. Emitofuo. That's what we do on their behalf. So what we do, the great transference, is that this represents the spirit of Mahayana in the Pure Land Dharma door, where we cultivate the Dharma door. Ultimately, is to benefit others, not just for ourselves. Okay, that's the Mahayana spirits in our practices. Okay, so you're being trained to do that. If you weren't taught this, then you think that all we do is seek rebirth for ourselves and that's it. And if we can make it to the Pure Land, we got it made and we all set. It doesn't work like that. For the Pure Land Dharma door is not a complete Dharma door that people have been taught at all. So this reveals the nature of the Mahayana nature of the Pure Land Dharma door we're practicing. Okay, whatever benefits we have, we accrue for ourselves. We give it away. Okay, to everyone, including our loved ones. So that's the spirit behind it. Okay? And also in the text you see that it's very insightful. It tells you about what's going to happen to us when we practice this Dharma door, and by the time that we, at our time of death, certain things going to happen, and then if we make it to Pure Land, some things will happen as well. So these texts in Chinese will recite. Maybe those of you who do not speak English, don't speak Chinese, don't get a lot of it, but it's very, very meaningful. And eventually, you make these vows, you make these wishes, and that will pay off for you handsomely down the road, whether you understand or not. Okay? Understanding is overrated because understanding appeals to you intellectually and convinces you intellectually until your limited mind loses interest. Okay, so to try to convince your conscious mind is not long-lasting at all. So we're not interested in doing that. Okay, but if it helps to read the English translation. And so when we do the transference, basically we transfer. A short answer to your question. Short answer is to transfer to all our loved ones, friends and families, and everyone else. Okay? Hoping they themselves get to the Pure Land as well, because it's the best place for all of us, bar none. All the people who have wisdom, all the bodhisattvas, mahasattvas, they all make the vow to be reborn to the West. Therefore, we should follow suit. Okay? It's beyond us, but if those people in the know, the specialists, the experts who have the insider information are doing so, then let's buy some stocks as well. That's what is my attitude, okay? Some things are beyond us, so it's okay. Just follow the people who have more wisdom than us, okay? You can't go wrong. Follow people like Master YongHua, you can't go wrong. Follow people like bodhisattvas like Manjushri, you can't go wrong. Universal Worthy Bodhisattva, you can't go wrong. Yes, 8.
First of all, I'd like to thank the YouTube viewers for joining us. I have a question from Sophia Gu. She's, Master, in a recent lecture, you said to endure our afflictions. Is this consistent with the single-mindedness technique you taught us to focus single-mindedly on our affliction until one thought appears that shows us our attachment? Thank you.
You endure long enough, then you understand single-mindedness. You haven't done it long enough, that's why you're asking the question. Just do it, you see. Anyone else? Yes, 9. She's a martial artist, you know. She can do beautiful martial.
네, 안녕하세요, 마스터. 미국에 처음 와서 굉장히 생각보다 되게 즐겁게 수행하고 있는 것 같습니다. 제가 질문 드리고 싶은 거는 지금 불치를 하면서 제가 가지고 있는 우울함에 대해서 계속 회양하는 마음을 가지려고 하고 있는데, 이전에 한번 말씀해 주셨던 우울증의 희생자가 되지 않는 것이 어떻게 도움이 되는지, 그들에게도 도움이 되는지가 궁금합니다. 왜냐하면 우울증의 목적이 저희를 괴롭게 하고 파괴하고 하는 것이 그들의 목적이라고 생각이 되어지고 그들은 항상 그걸 그렇게 만들려고 하고 있는데, 그것에 당하지 않고 다른 방법, 명상을 하거나 운동을 하거나 하는 다른 방법을 쓰는 게 어떻게 그들에게도 도움이 될 수 있는지가 궁금합니다.
Sound system here is pretty good. Sorry.
Master, this is my first time in U.S. and what I thought about visiting U.S., considering that I'm very joyfully participating for Fochi. During the Fochi, I have a question about depression, which is my condition. You mentioned about not being a victim and doing cultivation. Is it helpful to them who's causing depression? You told me once their purpose is to giving us suffering and destroying us. So instead of being a victim of their doing, exercising or meditation, how does it help them as well? Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question. A lot of young people have depression. It's a lot more than people realize, not just young people, but it's alarming the rate of the young people who have depression in everywhere, not just in Korea, but also in Japan, in Vietnam, in everywhere. And it's rather dangerous because people really don't know how to deal with it. I'm sorry, professionals don't really know how to deal with it effectively. Okay? It's because they don't know how to deal with depression, ghosts, and demons. And of course, they laugh at us when we talk like this. They say, you're speaking nonsense. And that's precisely. They don't want to learn. They don't want to go out of their comfort zone. That's why they will never be able to learn how to help their clients, help their patients. Okay, so for the Buddhists, we know that depression is caused by some depression ghosts. And they're on a lifelong program to harass you. Okay? And it's not a whole lot that you can do. Taking medication will help if you are prone to killing yourselves. I encourage you to do that. You have thoughts of suicide, and you're getting close to taking action upon those thoughts of killing yourselves. Then definitely go see some therapists and get some help. Get some drugs. Get yourself hospitalized because you need help. You cannot handle it yourself. And after that, so this is where the doctors and therapists and the medical profession in the world earn their place. Okay, they can help prevent these cases and the severe cases where we can't help much. Okay, we're not equipped for that kind of work. But if you are not suicidal physically, that you are not prone to taking action to kill yourself, then you can learn to take care of yourselves. Okay, because it ain't gonna go away. You're taking medication, meds, any kind of meds will not address the problem because it goes in and it comes out. It goes in and comes out. So taking medication, you're poisoning yourself. And the ghost gets bored, so it leaves. So you keep on taking medications for what? Okay, it's nonsense. And that's why it helps temporarily for you, helps a little bit because you don't have these crazy thoughts anymore. But they also make you addicted to these drugs. You're making these drug companies rich. That's all you're doing. Okay, they're not helping. They're not healing you at all. Actually, they're poisoning you. Okay, and so the only way that I know of is for you to learn to deal with those thoughts of depression. Depression basically are thoughts that were instilled in your heads by those ghosts and those demons. Okay, I'm very experienced dealing with this because I'm bipolar. I'm severe bipolar. I was very severe. And through meditation, I looked out and I was able to overcome it. Okay? So I know it's a lifelong, my personal experience, I've seen a lot of people as well. It's a lifelong issue. Okay? For example, the old abbot, okay? He's manic. You poke him the wrong way, the old abbot. And if you poke him the wrong way, he'll snap at you and bite your head off. Okay, and so many of us are afflicted with these manic depressive disorders, but we don't know. We'd never been diagnosed, and if we were diagnosed, we wouldn't be able to know what to do. Okay, so in general, my experience has been we help a lot of people who have such problems. Why? Because they became desperate after years of taking medication. Okay, the last severe case we know is the ex-monk who used to take a handful of pills every day when he first came to Lu Mountain Temple, and the old abbot back then was a lay person and said, "You better stop doing this, and it's not good for you." So after a while, through meditation, through being in the environment, he could stop taking the medications. Now he's out. I can bet you. I'm not betting anymore. I have no more money this month, by the way. But it's a figure of speech. I'm willing to bet next month that he's going to have to go back to meds. Okay? Yeah. Anyway, but it's none of my business. I'm done with such people. Anyway, so medication is not a good solution at all. You have to learn to meditate. And so we have this process of helping you through this process, and a lot of our people, including myself, have been able to rise above it and lead a normal life, actually happier life as well. Okay? So the principle behind it is that depression or those manic attacks are basically thoughts that are planted in your heads by your ghost. And you don't know better. You cannot tell the difference between their thoughts and your thoughts. And therefore, you're confused. You think those planted thoughts are yours, so you act upon them. You go kill yourself. You go yell at someone. Okay? So meditation, in principle, helps you detect it a lot faster before you start, pointing a gun to your temple, for example. Okay, you stop. This is not me. That kind of thing. Okay, and so there's a lot more involved than that. And we also believe in speeding it up by paying off the karmic debts as well. So your question is in general for you. If you have depression, then your martial arts would help initially a little bit. Okay, you'll be able to free yourself from some of these depression ghosts. But as soon you're at that level, the next wave of depression ghosts will come over and will overwhelm you. So it's a temporary thing. So our approach is you make yourself a moving target. You keep improving and improving and improving and improving, so that when the next waves come, you learn to deal with them, and then you get out of range. And the next wave comes, you do the same thing. You improve, get out of range. And next wave comes. So that's how the waves get that lighter and lighter and lighter, much more manageable, to the point where they basically can't bother you anymore. Okay? And you get way up there. Like us. It's nothing they can do to us now. Okay? So that's how you deal with it. So at the lower level, physical exercise helps because they get your mind off yourself. When you doing the push-ups or the how do you call this again? Seriously? Are you call yourself man?
That's called a bench press, Matt.
Bench press. Thank you very much.
Do you do
bench press.
Are you doing dumbbell press or are you doing
Barbell?
Barbell.
Yeah, barbell.
Yeah.
It's together here.
Yeah. If you do dumbbell press, it's better for you.
That's what I do. But the barbell is cooler looking.
Yeah, I agree. You look.
Go like this. It's kind of. This is not as adorned.
Master, I'm concerned about your lack of betting capital, so I'll make you a bet.
Okay, about what?
I will bet that that you cannot do 10 reps of 15-pound dumbbell bench press. I'll bet you $100.
Done. 15 pounds or 15 kilos. There's a slight difference.
15 pounds.
Each side?
Each side. Yeah, each
Oh
side.
my God, that's tough. Okay, someone give me $100. I give it back to you tomorrow, guaranteed. This man underestimates my arms. Anyway, okay, we could take it offline. I have work to do. You are going to be so sorry. Okay, if anyone advances $100, you get 50%. Tomorrow. Think of the kind of return you're getting. All right. So where was I? Yeah, it's like this. When you are depressed, and then you go exercise and you go to do the barbell bench press, you know it's very dangerous. The dumbbell is not as dangerous because you can drop it, you know. But that barbell, you're not careful, it drops on your throat and or your chest. You can be in big trouble. That's my point. My point is when you do a barbell press and you push up like this, you have to concentrate because of the danger involved and it's of the challenge involved. So this takes your mind off those thoughts. That's the trick behind it. But it works up to a certain point because it works during this moment, but then they will stop you from coming to exercise. Or they will attack you after you exercise when you're tired and your body is aching, especially in this chest area. Okay? And so that's why they will find ways to get to you. Okay? So exercises help a little bit. You can try jogging and so forth. And also the exercise will be helpful, but it's temporary. Okay? Ours is much more effective and has been proven to work very well. I have a question here, and I go to you from JMT.
들리시나요?
네, 들려요.
여기요. 시그널이 안 가. 안녕하세요. 마터 들리시나요?
안녕하세요. We can hear you. Go ahead.
제가 올해 4월 말에 한국에서 보라선언에서 선질한 이후로 무릎이 좀 아파서 병원을 갔더니 연골을 감싸고 있는 연골판이 찢어진 건 아닌데 약간 흠집이 났다, 손상이 조금 있다 이렇게 진단을 받았고요. 그 이후로 한의원에서 치료를 일주일에 2번씩 지금 한 3달째 치료를 받고 있는데 처음에는 다리를 굽힐 때 찢어질 듯한 통증이 있었고 치료를 받으면서 많이 나아졌고요. 그리고 걸을 때 다리가 땅으로 꺼지는 듯한 그런 느낌이 있었는데 그것도 이제 그런 증상이나 통증은 없어진 지 좀 꽤 오래됐고 일상생활이나 지장도 없고 네. 그 걸을 때 다리가 뻗지는 네. 그 걸을 때 다리가 땅으로 꺼지는 듯한 느낌이 있었는데 치료를 하면서 그것도 괜찮아졌고 지금은 증상은 전혀 없는 상태이고요. 그래서 제가 한 일주일 한 1, 2주 전부터 결과부터 조금씩 해보려고 하고 있고 그 치료해 주시는 한의사 선생님께도 결과부자를 좀 안고 싶다 했더니 그러면 고관절에도 문제가 있으니까 같이 치료를 하자 이렇게 치료 앉을 수 있게 도와주시겠다라고 하셔가지고 다리가 많이 좋아져서 좀 앉아보려고 하는데 그래도 한번 마스터께 여쭤보고 싶어서 제가 결과부자를 오랜만에 해보니까 이게 기분 탓인지 모르겠는데 좀 재밌더라고요. 그래서 좀 앉아도 될지 질문 드립니다. 감사합니다. 한의원에서 선생님이 그 고관절 치료를 같이 하면서 결과부자를 앉을 수 있게 도와주겠다고 치료를 해주시겠다고 좀 자신감을 갖고 치료하면서 앉아보려고 하는데 마스터께는 안 여쭤봐가지고 질문 드립니다. 감사합니다. 칼트리지 네, 그거를 칼트리지 플레이트라고 하더라고요.
Hi, Master. At the end of April, I participated Chanchi at JC. What happened was, after that, I had a knee pain, so I went to see a doctor. What they did is they diagnosed with some damages on my cartridge plate. This is the plate that actually wraps around the cartridge on my knee. So I went to see the doctor. After that, he diagnosed. I went to the Eastern doctor, and then I saw him twice a week for several months. And what happened is, when I bent my legs at the time, I felt like it was tearing apart. But after the treatments, and also my legs, I feel like it's dropping into the ground. But all these symptoms disappear eventually, and I don't have any problem with the daily activities anymore. So about 1 or 2 weeks ago, I wanted to try sit in full lotus. So I went to see my Eastern doctor again, and then he says he will go ahead and continue the treatments, and then maybe I could sit in full lotus as well. He will help with that positions. So I tried, and I think, despite of my thought, it's fun, and so I have more courage to sit in full lotus. So I'd like to check with you if that's okay. Thank you.
I'm glad that you're able to fix the problem. Very good. You should build up very slowly, and you should go very, very slow. It's like when you're starting out again. Don't assume you can, if you were able to sit longer, now start with 5 minutes and increase it to 7 minutes and so forth, very slowly. Okay? Give your body a chance to take care of itself, fix itself, and use the oil. It's going to help. All right? So it's okay. But as soon as your knees starts having problems, stop increasing the sits. Okay? Let it heal completely and start over again. Is that clear? There's no need to take chances. All right, very good. I have a question here in 7.
Thank you, Master.
This is what? Is it you mean or what?
네, 이미.
Really?
근데 제가 1시간씩 몇 번 앉았거든요.
She sounds different. That's why I don't recognize her. How's your dog?
My dog.
I'm checking to make sure it's not AI generated. How's your depressed dog? It looks better on the last photo I saw.
감사합니다. Thank you, Master.
No, it's the old abbot who helped out. He's the one who went to your house and kicked them out.
Thank you, Master Old Abbot. Thank you.
Yeah. You should thank the old abbot. I didn't tell him to go. He chose to go. This is what he does in his Vietnamese tantric group. What they do in Vietnam is they go to people's places and help them out, fight with the ghosts and demons. Okay, that's a Vietnamese secret school. They are living on the fringe of society and helping their people. It's quite a nice group. Yes, old abbot, what do you have to say? How was your experience at Yu Min's house? Wow, the young girl now has healed her knee. That's great news. See, old people can still be useful. I don't advise you to mess around with the depression ghost the way the Master O Abbot and his group does, especially the Vietnamese group with him in Vietnam. They should not mess with the depression ghosts like that. They're going to be in big trouble. Master's O Abbot is okay, but for them, I don't think they believe me anyway. They shouldn't mess with the depression ghosts. Don't go to people's house and deal with the depression ghosts like that. What they do is they will jump on them, and they're in big trouble. They bring it back to their temples and their homes. I'm warning you. They can't jump on his old monk's back. That's why we're not worried. The rest of you don't have to worry about him bringing back the bad ghosts. He looks cold. Look at that. Okay, while he's there he is. The Vietnamese come to they come to his Tantra group to ask for help, and they are busy, very busy. But there's some things they should know better. They shouldn't meddle with, like depression. It's very dangerous.
You need to come here. Sorry.
들려요, 이제.
들리신데. Sir, you need to stand up, I think.
Khá nghe chưa?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Nói là cái cô Kim Mì này đó, cô thấy ba cái người đàn ông rất là giận dữ. Nhìn cổ nói là tao ở đây trước mày, mày tới đây mày chiếm nhà tao. Con nghe vậy, con có hỏi ý kiến của thầy. Con đề nghị là cái cô này tụng chú Đại Bi, hồi hướng cái phước cho những người đó, chứ không phải đi có cái tâm mà đánh người ta. Càng nhiều càng tốt để mà trả cái nợ mà hai bên quan gia với nhau.
Emitofuo Master, I told Jumi, she told me that she saw three men very angry at her, telling her that we have been living in this house for long before you invaded my space. So after I heard about it, I asked for Master opinion. So I told her to recite Great Compassion Mantra to transfer the merit and virtue to these people. Instead of beating them up, we pay back the debt to them.
Dạ cái cô sinh con ở đây đó, cô sinh con ở vô Mountain đó, đề nghị với con là để cổ đem cát lại con rải nhà cái cô Như Mì này, thì con không có chịu, con biểu chào cả, cô này không có đủ sức đi rải cát.
So Venerable Shin Kong suggests here at Jewel Mountain Temple suggested to use the spiritual sand and spread it around the house, but I do not approve that because I feel that they don't have enough power to handle it.
그런 힘이 없습니다.
Và sau đó thì con đến Korea thì có gặp cái cô Duyên Mì này tại chùa. Cái mặt rất là hốc hác, mà gầy đi, và cái da mặt nó xám xịt luôn á, tức là cổ rất là bị stress.
Then after that, I came to Korea, take a look at Yumi at the temple. I saw that she's very skinny and her face very black gray, meaning that she's very stressful.
Thì con muốn lên nhà cô ấy, thì cái cô Venerable Xuyên Con và con với cái cô em của cô này đến tới chùa chở con lên Seoul để mà thăm gia đình cô ấy.
Then I would like to come to her house. So then Venerable Shin Kong, also the younger sister of that lady, and her, we took the trip to Seoul to meet her family.
Thì con tới con mới cái nguyện là con sẽ rải cái cát này với cái chú Quảng Bác, mà blessing cho họ, cho con không tới để đánh, mà con chỉ tới là trả cái nợ cho cái cô này. Hai bên ân oán thì con chỉ tới trả cái nợ thôi, chứ con không có cái tâm mang cái vũ khí tới đánh người ta.
So then I came over to her house with the wish that I would use this spiritual sand, also with the great expensive mantra to bless her and to pay back the karmic debt between the two of them. So with the mind of not beating them back or using any weapon to chase them away.
Thì con rải cái cát xung quanh nhà, trong nhà và trong building đó, ở dưới cái parking lot, rải hết để mà blessing hết mọi người trong đó, chứ không phải mà ba cái vị mà quan gia ma đó luôn, phải tất cả. Và on behalf của cô như mày là con blessing cho họ, hay mà con mày blessing chứ không có tới đánh người ta.
So then I used the spiritual sand to spread around in the interior of her house, outside of her house, around the building, as well as the parking lots. I bless all the people, not just only the three debtor of hers, on her behalf to do so instead of beating up on them.
Sau đó một tuần lễ có cái thầy chú Hổ Môn Sám, con dùng tất cả cái phước báo một tuần lễ đó cho cái cô thầy và cho ba cái người trong quan gia trong cái nhà đó luôn.
And after that, within a week, I recite Great Compassion, Repentance, as well as the Universal Door chapter, and I dedicate these blessings to Yumi and also her three debtor.
감사했습니다. 그리고 이 부탁을 유미님과 그리고 3명의 빚진 그 귀신들에게 나눠줬습니다.
Và sau đó thì con được cúng, con được 2 cái plaque cho cái Hổ Môn Sám. Con để tên của cô Duy Mì này, tên của 13 cái vị mà ở trong cái nhà đó, với cả cái cô mà một cái vị mà trên cái tật của cái sông gần đây, cái hàm mà mức nó lụt, ba má cổ có tới cúng mấy trăm đô, mấy trăm tiền đại hàng đó. Thì con mới nói với con này đánh cái lắc để cho con này áp hết mấy người đó, chứ không có riêng cô như mày này không nữa. Ba trong nhà cô như mày, nhà cái vị ở trên tầng thứ 3 mà đánh cô phân xít đó, chỉ là 19 cái người mà ở trong cái hầm mà trước có khoảng 2 tuần mà nước ngập, mà phải ngập cái hầm không sợ chết là chính ở đây đó, chỗ này. Thì con mới nói con xin lòng là thỉnh cái lắc hồi hết cho họ. Sau cái tiền của cha mẹ con này cúng á, thì con lấy việc lấy tất cả đều vui hết. Thì trước bữa nay là cái mặt của cô này rất là sáng, rất là bóng, rất là healthy. Bữa nay nó rất là khác. Đó là những cái việc con làm, việc con này mới đây chưa hết.
Hello, I apologize. So there's a part cut off. So Venerable Shinchu say basically after that he was able to receive 2 plaques from the Dharma Assembly. So he put the name of Yumi and the 3 of her creditors residing in her house, and one of the demon. And also the ghost that attacking Francis on the 3rd floor. And also her mom and dad used the money, couple of hundreds of Korean money to request the plaques. So then I used all of those to dedicate for the plaque, to pray for them. There was also a person who was died inside of the basements. I tried to dedicate the merit and virtue to that person as well. So then I used the I Ching manifestation to see what's going on, and the I Ching say everything is delightful and happy. And the proof is that afterwards, today, her face very bright and polished and look very healthy.
보입니다.
Thì đó, đó là cái gì con đã làm cho cái chuyện của cô với mày và những cái xung quanh ở đây. Đó.
Yeah. Okay, very good. So he went through a lot, and there's a lot more than you people realize. I would not advise the Sunnims over Korea to handle these types of situations. It's very, very dangerous. If you deal with the yin world, you don't have the skills to deal with the yin world, and therefore you can do more harm than good, especially to yourselves. So be careful. All the Sunnims in Korea, be careful. Stay away from it. Okay. But in general, these beings are very powerful. You don't want to mess with them, and they don't let go. Or if they are very vindictive. If you get in the way, they will attack you first. So this is why the old abbot is in a position where if he was attacked by these beings, he can recover. If you attacked by these beings, you cannot recover. You will be in big, big trouble. So that's why I highly recommend that you stay away from these issues, especially the Vietnamese mantra group and so forth. It's a lot more complicated than you know how to handle, all of you. It's just, even my master's disciples over there, you bring them these issues, I would guarantee to you, none of them is stupid enough to stick the neck out for you. Okay? Because they can't handle it. It's too dangerous. Okay? It's like you stirring up a beehive. Okay? You're going to get attacked. You're going to get stung. No two ways about it. They stung the abbot. The abbot doesn't want to say it, but they stung him and he recovered. He looks normal to me, don't you think? Does he look depressed to you? Not at all, right? So that's my proof. He can tell you that he's okay, he didn't offend him and so forth. Baloney. They attacked him, but they couldn't do anything to him. That's why. Okay? All right. Yes, 4.
Emitofuo, Master. I've been staying a lot in hotels recently, among other things too, and also
hotels or motels?
Hotels.
Wow, this guy has class.
And every time
I remember I was your age, I stayed in motels. Couldn't afford to stay in hotels. Never mind. Yes.
Yeah, it's a recurring theme that something in the hotel tries to bother me, or gets upset, or especially if I start meditating in there. And it's okay with me, but when I have my son with me, I get really weird about it. And then there's also things that happen at home, and I'm sure that other people have similar experiences. I remember one time I recited the Vajra Sutra at my house, and I woke up with a scratch against my neck. And I'd never had that happen before. And so, again, not a big deal, but it does bring about this worry in me. And so for times like that, how do I deal with it? Or how would someone who's trying to just do Buddhist practices in places that bring about these results deal with it?
I am sorry I didn't catch what you said you were doing in that hotel room with your son. What were you doing?
I was doing Great Compassion. I just was playing it and doing it, and then something showed up.
And then how long did that last? Was it for a long time, or then it stopped? They stopped harassing you after a while.
It was there for a while. Who was there for a while?
No, did they stop harassing you after you played the tape for a while? Did it stop? The harassment, did it stop? Or
No, I think the harassment started because I played it.
Oh, because you played it.
Yeah.
Then stop playing. What are you doing? Just keep it simple, dude.
No,
Don't play something else. Play like Emitofuo, for example. Come on, we have so many tools. Who knows? Maybe one Yin Bodhisattva offended that being. We don't know. Doesn't matter, we have so many tools. Why are you stuck on the Great Compassion mantra? It works quite often, but it's not always. Bad day.
Yeah, I guess like I don't want to upset any beings, and so, but I do want a solution for it, or just for you to say like, shut up and stop thinking about it, because it does.
What's the sense of adventure? You play the Great Compassion mantra tape, and it bothers you. Is offended by that. Try something else. Try Medicine Master mantra. Try Buddha's name. Try Wan Yin's name. One of those is bound to work. I assure you. Okay? So this is why we give you so many tools, because they can be used at different times, different places, because their effectiveness vary widely. Okay? All right. Go back to that same room again and give it a try. Yes, sir. Did you ask a question 7?
Thank you, Master. No, it was a comment in the topic that we had before. Before, when I used to come to the temple, I get so like a lot of peace and calm. And when I went back home, everything was afflicting me. But eventually, naturally, it went down. So now I felt that like my daughter, my wife, everything they do, maybe like 5% of that afflict me, and the other 95% I can just get away with it. But I also seen that my mind can recognize when I'm afflicted. So that's a beautiful thing. And also related to Alex's comment, sometimes when I'm meditating and I'm reciting Emitofuo, there's like like bad visions, bad feelings, and I immediately change to Jiaoshi Rulai, and it all goes away. So thank you, Master, for all the tools that you are giving us.
Yeah, it's fun. You should look at it. Be open-minded. If you do these things and it doesn't work, you try something else. You have so many tools at your disposal. When I was at my master's temple, my kung fu is much lower than yours, but I try things. I remember there is this countess, Brazilian countess, Marquise. Her name is like 30 different different words long because of her nobility titles. They inherited from many, like 30 generations or something. Okay, and so she took what? What did you want?
Sarah has some question. Sorry to interrupt you, but Sarah has some question. Yeah.
It's okay. I'm just speaking nonsense anyway. Go ahead, ask question.
Master, there's a question from Korea. What is the difference between requesting a pre-49 days and a requesting rebirth plaque? Thank you.
Okay. Remind me where I was. Let me address this. This is a rebirth thing. So we are rebirth, supposedly. Pure Land, supposedly. Okay. These things they arise because of the needs. You see, the Dharma is taught to you is because they arise from conditions. This is the jargon they use, the teachers use. Dharmas arise by conditions, meaning in our particular case, we started doing these different things because of your needs. My students came to me with those needs, and they said, I have these needs. I said, okay, good. You have these needs. I know a good place. Go to my master's temple. They can handle it. And then they came back and they asked me, no, I'm not happy with them. Can you help me do them? So you see, the things we've been doing, actually the repertoire we developed over the years is due to your requests because of your needs. Okay, very much like the old monk there, the old abbot went to Yu Min's house, and I don't want you to ask him to do it anymore because when he went there, he paid dearly physically and mentally for it. Okay, but he can handle it, and none of you, no one else. Okay, I don't allow people but abbots to be able to do those things. Okay, besides, he's meddling. Don't believe what he says. He's meddling in this being. That's why they attack him and so forth. But it doesn't bother us. Okay, he has to learn himself. But so the point here is that now he's revealing to all of you that he can meddle as well. So if you want him to meddle, you can fly him to your home, and he can help you. Okay, don't ask me because I don't do those things. I'm a chicken. Okay. Anyway, so you see, tonight he's telling you about a new things that he does. He says, I went there, and first we did the sands. It didn't work, so I had to go there personally. I talked to them, and I recited this, recited that, and threw the sands myself, so forth. So you see, there's a process he went through that helped Yu Min. That's the whole point. Okay? We don't talk about it. We don't use it unless it works. Okay? And again, I don't like to do these things. I don't recommend that our abbots do these things because it's really, unless it's a matter of life and death or something. But we don't meddle in these things. It's very, very messy. It's not just us. It's because they attack our temples, they attack my Sangha, they attack everyone else. Okay? It's very, very messy. You don't mess with these people. Okay? All right. So what happened is the questions about what's the difference between 49 days of rebirth. Okay? It's because the rebirth, the 49 day is necessary. After you die, during 49 days, okay, anything could happen to you. While you're alive, you have your body, you have your money, you have your homes, you have your car, okay? You have your friends, you have your doctors. You can come for help. But after you die, none of that is available to you anymore. And now you are totally vulnerable to, your past creditors. You're extremely vulnerable. Okay? And so that's why the Buddha was very compassionate. He said, during this 49-day thing here, I know that you will become very vulnerable and you need help. So that's why I taught my disciples to do a 49-day thing so that you get relief, you get protection. And it has worked for 3,000 years. So that's why in a Chinese system, Indian system, Buddhist system, they're taught to go to the temple and ask for help for the deceased, so that during the 49-day period, the temples do things that they're trained to do, they're taught to do in Buddhism that are extremely helpful to the deceased, let me tell you. okay, they're so grateful for the help. A lot more than you realize. Okay, right now, everyone says, "Oh, this is nonsense," but you don't have to believe me. Huh? After you die, okay? Those of you who listen to me right now and say, "I don't believe you," Murali. Huh? Huh? I don't believe you. Huh? I don't believe you. Okay? What? I thought you believed me.
Do, Master, but Sarah asked the wrong question, so you would like to ask the question again.
I need to clarify, it's not a wrong question. I said it correctly, but somehow it's a pre-49 days versus a rebirth plague. That's the question. What's the difference between pre-49 days? Not 49 days.
Not always lost. Can I keep going? Okay. So the 49-day thing here is very, very dangerous. And I'll add the pre later. Huh? Okay. So the 49-day thing here, I'm telling you, okay? And we've been saying this, and I know that the people who watch the videos, many videos, we talked about this, they have this smirk and say, "Oh, these idiots believe on this scam artist who's basically a fake monk and who's scamming you for money and so forth, and so forth." And that's fine. Believe whatever you want, believe. I do what I do. You do what you do. It's your business. But when is your time to die? Okay? When your time comes, I assure you, that's when you remember me. You say, "Oh, wow, I'm suffering so much," exactly along the line what I described. And some of you who also have the privilege of going to the hells. Okay? And he says, and who right now heard what I'm telling you right now and say, "I don't believe him. I don't believe in hells." Then at that moment, you have, I love this moment, you have my image appear in front of you and said, "I told you so, loser." We play the long game. We're not here to try to impress you and get you to do things right now, because many of you don't believe. Well, you know what? When you get in trouble and then you remember that we told you so, next lifetime, when we see each other again in a billion years, if you have a chance to see me again in a billion years, then you come to me and you believe anything I tell you. We play a very long game. Don't worry. It's I'm trying to impress you right now. Okay? So there's no point trying to pull your legs. It's not what we do. All right? So that's a 49-day thing here. You go to the temple and you get help from the temple. It makes a huge difference, let me tell you. Okay? I highly recommend it. You go to any Buddhist temple, even if they cheat you and they take your money and then they don't do much, okay? You still get help because of the nature, the training. They can give you a little bit of help, which is far better than anyone else. Okay? So that's a 49-day thing. Okay? The problem with the 49-day Dharma that the Chinese use, okay, is that the Buddha says, the temple recite sutra, recite the Buddha's names on your behalf and accrue those blessings to you, because it's requested after you die, you get 1/7 of the blessings that we generate on your behalf. Okay? It helps, but it's still not enough. Okay, so that's why after I imitated my Chinese master style of helping people with the 49-day, I look at them and say, you know what? This doesn't make sense. If you believe me, then you should request it before you die, because then you get 100% of the temple's work. It's the same exact thing to you. Why don't you do it earlier instead of doing after, like the poor Asians? Okay? So the people in Korea, the people in Vietnam, in China, and so forth, they only do it after you're dead, which doesn't make sense to me. So that's why we have a pre-49 day, okay? So that you are allowed to prepare for your death. Because think about it, those of you who heard this and believe this and say, okay, it sounds good, maybe he's pulling my leg, but just in case, okay, let me buy some insurance, okay? Because if I'm conning you, in the future, I have to look for you and pay you back, okay? Plus interest. It's not worth it. I'd rather help you right now, okay? Instead of charging you $1 million, I charge you only a small amount of money. And the difference, you have to look for me and pay me back plus interest. Sounds good? Good business, we in. Yes, 6.
Thank you, Master. This is not financial advice. I have to say that legally. I'd like to say thank you for giving me the ability to be long on Pure Land. Investing in the pre-49 day is the best way for my Dharma brothers and sisters who are into the stock market to go long on the Pure Land.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
And with your
Hallelujah.
With your insurance, I'm short on Master YongHua.
Praise Vishnu. Why do I care?
I had a comment, and I'm really thankful every time someone from the Dharma Assembly asks about depression. For the Hanguk Sarang who asked earlier, something, Master, that you taught me early on was a way to have less thoughts is to use the Vajra sword. And whenever a thought enters your mind, imagine a Vajra sword obliterating that thought. And my experience when it came to thoughts of depression, negative thoughts, irrational thoughts was, I'm a guy like Lord of the Rings, so obliterating things with swords is pretty cool and fun, which probably helped, but using that technique really helped me personally with my thoughts of depression. And so I think it's helpful just to share an experience with some practical advice or tools that you've provided. Thank you so much.
Yeah, good. We have a lot of tools. And how are your depression thoughts nowadays? Just for the heck of it, I'm curious.
Yeah. When I'm not working, they're more.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm working, I have other things to focus on.
But more, of course, they're more. As I told you, next level, you say have you at this level, they come harass you this level, and you go next level, other at this level come harass you, okay? But it's lighter, yes?
Absolutely, and it might sound funny, but it's kind of comforting sometimes to have them because I know I'm still human. I know that I still have something to struggle with, so it's good practice.
It makes you humble. It's supposed to remind you to be humble. Okay.
Thank you.
They can harass you because you were not a good person. You hurt them. Where were we again? Oh, there's so many things to die. I don't think we have enough time tonight to answer all your questions. Okay, so I talked about pre-49. I said, this is common sense. Let the Asian do the Asian things. We Americans should be smarter. You can prepare because you believe, some of you believes, you don't want to wait until after you die and your children will be fighting over the money you left for them. Okay? Instead of trying to think about you, they tell, this is superstition, I don't believe it. I'm glad I stopped it. Mommy wouldn't waste her money on this. That's the key right there. It's mommy's money, man. So you see, so there's some real advantages that you may want to consider doing a pre-49 day. A lot of people did, and it makes a huge difference, by the way. Because during the 49-day period, if you, the more blessing we create for you, the better off you will be. Okay? For example, Master Z's grandma, I met her. Did I tell you? She didn't have a 49-day, didn't have a pre-49 day. I simply gave her a promise. I said, you live a long life. I want you to have a good time with your family. And when you die, I help you go to the Pure Land. And so after she died, I look at her two daughters. They're so afflicted. Okay, so I said, Master Z is suffering in silence. My grandma. So I said, I tell you what, I help her go to the Pure Land within 10 days. And she did. Anyway, the woman is so happy now. My gosh. So just in case that I'm not wrong, okay, you may want to do a pre-49 day. Again, the Buddhist principle is that if I'm wrong, I'm conning you. Boy, am I in trouble because I owe you the money I con you, plus interest, plus penalty on top of it. It's not something you want to do. This is exactly why my master would not allow my peers to do a 49-day thing, because as soon you do it, they'll come to you and ask you, where's my mom? I spend money on you. Where's my mom? And it's so much pressure that you're bound to say something stupid that you hurt yourself. So that's why they're not allowed to do this. Anyway, so that's a 49-day thing. Okay, so it's designed during this 49-day thing here. You may be happy right now, but during the 49-day things could appear from nowhere. Your past creditors could appear from nowhere and bother you so that you fall. Okay? And so that's why the use of the pre-49 day. And rebirth is different. Rebirth is that this has also happened as well. They come to me, people came to me in the past and said, okay, so I can go to the Pure Land. But you also tell me the Pure Land is very slow. The practice in the Pure Land is very, very wonderful, but it's very long time before you become a Buddha. So what can I do? I said, in that case, you need, the reason we people from the Pure Land come back here is, you know what? A lot of people in the Pure Land are sent back here in order to create blessings so that they can bring them back to the Pure Land so that they can become Buddhas a lot faster. That's our secret. Okay? So they come here. A lot of people, like the abbot, the old abbot is from the Pure Land. Okay? That's why I don't care what he does anymore. He dies tomorrow, I don't have to worry about it. Okay? So he can go fight ghosts, and I can't care less. Let him do it. Okay? Whatever turns him on, go do it. Okay? Have fun. Yeah. Have kimchi, I don't care. Okay? because he knows where he's going. We know where he's going. Okay, so you see, the point here is that people come here to the Saha world because it's very difficult for you to cultivate. You go to the Pure Land, it's much, much easier, infinitely easier for you to cultivate over there. There's no depression. There's no hunger. You don't need to get a job. You don't have to quit your job. Even think about it, huh? Okay, and so that's why, because everything is so easy for you. It takes a long, long time for you. In contrast, in a Saha world, things are so dangerous to you. They're very difficult. A lot of suffering. Okay, your body is a constant source of harassment for you. Think about it, huh? When you get older, there's things happening in my body I don't care to tell you because it's very, very depressing. Okay, and what we in the U.S. we call it organ recital. You know what that is? Organ recital. Organ is the piano thing that that's an organ, okay? Recital is a word it's where they play the organs in and so forth for your entertainment. But organ recital here refers to we old people complain to you. You know, they ask you make the mistake of asking, how are you feeling today? You know what? I'm glad you asked. My back hurts. You know, I can hardly walk. You see, Go-Yin this morning, the way she walks. Or what happened to South Carolina? Can you demonstrate to us how you walk? Walk a little bit, just for Ron Pettis. See what South Carolina do when they walk. Look at that. Okay, look at that. Don't exaggerate. See, look at. See. That tells you that something's aching somewhere. Yes or no? Yeah, you see? We walk normally because there's no pain, no ache. You see, look at that. Look, even with that. He says, my hip right here. You see? And so you know, my hip hurts. I can hardly breathe. And so forth. I have indigestion. I don't know what they serve today for lunch, but I have a hard time. With anyway, on and on. It's called organ recital. It's the heart and the stomach and then the liver and and on and on. And so don't ever ask old people how you feeling today. So we suffer in silence. You have no idea. When and you're laughing right now. Wait until you're my age, and you know what I'm talking about. Okay, how are we here? Okay, so anyway, so in the Pure Land, you have no illness. So it's for you to be able to recite the Buddha's name or recite mantra, it's no big deal. It's no struggle for us. For us to recite the Buddha's name. Look at him. Can you recite the Buddha's name now in South Carolina? Yes, Master. You're supposed to say no. I won't ask you again, ever. So, you see, it's much more difficult here. That's why you're creating more blessings. The more difficult, the more blessings generate. So people like the old abbot, they're from the Pure Land, so they sent back here for him to save his children, his ex-wife, and all those things. His master, his teacher, and so forth. And he's done, okay? So that's why they come back here. But also, we keep him around so that he can generate more blessings for him to bring back to the Pure Land. So that's why I said, here, when we cultivate, we generate a lot more blessings than over to the Pure Land. So I tell you what, you want help? We can generate blessings, send them to the Pure Land for you. That's the nature of a rebirth flag. So the Chinese system, you have a 49-day thing here. After you're dead, your 49 days, we take care of you. After 49 days, sayonara. Good luck to you. And my disciples are very, very demanding. They said, I want more. That's the rebirth plan. Okay, that's enough for today. That's enough of a commercial. Yes, 8.
From Cordelia. Master, is pre-49 days a form of debt repayment? The few very sick people that I got pre-49 days for are getting better and better. Emitofuo.
And that's another reason as well. We found out. Okay, we found out. It's first of all, see the needs evolve because I'm presented with a problem or request, I find ways to help you. I'm learning more as I go along. I went along. So what happened is that the pre-49 day is that you don't believe us, especially the guy back there. He says, these stupid people, they believe anything that sounds good. So the pre-49 day is to help you go to the Pure Land better, faster, okay, with more blessings. And it turns out that unlike people like you, and especially the guy in the back there, you know what kind of car he drives? It's a very nice car. Never mind. Who you may not believe me, okay? And that's understandable because who am I to make all these fantastic claims? And I understand you won't believe it and you have a hard time accepting it. But, you're not my primary line of work. You deal with the real world. We learn to deal with the invisible world. The mantras deal with the invisible world primarily. Keep the ghosts and spirits and demons in check. This is why we use mantras. Okay? And so that's why the old abbot is through the sands and recite the great compassion mantra and his Pu An mantra is to keep those demons in check and scare them. Okay? And so even though, okay, you don't believe us, but these beings, okay, believe us, they know about us. And that's why we have a track record with them as well as with the king, the judge down there, King Yama. Okay, so that's why we have a relationship with them. Okay, and so even though you don't believe us, these beings believe us because they've seen our track record the last 17 years. King Yama has been working with us for the last 17 years. So we have a track record with them. We have credit with them. And the word spread, very much like now you tell your friends and your family and your mother and your father and so forth. And I believe it, okay? And you have credibility with the people around you. Same thing with these beings. What happened is that quite often, actually more often than I had realized, is that when people came to us and said, the doctors gave up on me, okay? So I said, well, get a pre-49 day. I'm no doctor, I'm no God, I can't extend your life, it's not what I do, okay? So get a pre-49 day. And that's the same thing. That's what loser monk, okay, did for a man in Oregon. He was very, very sick, okay? And he's an electrician, and he helping the temple a lot. So loser monk was grateful, so he took his own money and get a pre-49 day for that guy because he was dying. He's preparing for this guy to croak, John the Crow. And lo and behold, he's still alive now. This happened in Lu Mountain Temple like 5-6 years ago. Okay, it happened quite often. So it means that these beings, the reason that you die prematurely is because they try to pull you down, make you fall. That's their primary objective, is to make you die before your time, because they have a chance to make you fall to the animal realm, to the ghost realms, to the hells. That's why they're doing it. But when they realize that, because our track record, when you get a pre-49 day, they know about it and say, I'm not gonna kill them yet. They try to kill me first. That's what happened when you try to stop them from their work. Okay? So I'm still alive today, so they haven't been able to kill me yet. Nothing is free in life, folks. Okay? And so that's why instead of continuing to kill Oregon John or whatever, all these beings, they decide to kill me first. Okay? So until I die, then they come back and will kill those people to make them fall. Okay, so you better pray to God, I live a long time. Okay? Yeah, that's why. Okay, got some question from JMT.
들리세요? 들리네. 우울증에 관해서 디프레션에 관해서 제가 가지고 있는 백그라운드 지식이 마스터께서 예전에 안암 정도가 돼야 디프레션에 좀 대응할 수 있다라고 말씀하셨는데, 여기서 말하는 대응이라는 게 우울증 공격이라는 걸 알아차리는 것인지 일단 첫 번째 그걸 질문드리고 싶고요.
안암이라고 하셨죠?
네, 맞아요. 썰스테이지 알아. 예.
Master, I'd like to talk about the depression, about the background knowledge. What I remember was that if there is depression attack, being able to recognize on the level of third stage arhat. And she's going to continue to talk.
네, 그러니까
What? Repeat
우울증에
that.
대해서 안암 정도가 돼야 대응할 수 있는 능력이 있다라고 이전에 법문에서 들었는데, 대응할 수 있다라는 게 구체적으로 어떤 건지 그거를 질문드린 거고요. 그게 첫 번째 질문이고요.
So I could start from the beginning, Master. So it's about the depression. From one of the Dharma talk, you mentioned about that at certain samadhi level, the person can be able to deal with attack from the depression ghost. And what I remember was a third stage arhat.
That's what I said, yes. Is there a question?
제가 말씀드린 질문은 구체적으로 대응이라는 게 어느 정도를 말씀하시는 건지가 구체적인 질문이에요. 뭐 예를 들면 이게 공격이라는 거를 알아차리는 건지, 네, 예를 들면.
So the question is, when you say we will be able to deal with it, I'd like to know what dealing with specifically. Does that mean we will be recognized attacks or anything else we're talking about?
Yeah, all those. What else you want to know? But don't get a big head.
그러면 우울증.
Don't get a big head. Even though you're third stage arhat, I can teach you how to do it. But up to a certain level, then you still need help. Okay? That's why they're very, very dangerous. You think you're in control, and actually it's only temporary. But that's part of the training. We're not worried about them at all. But when you're third stage arhat, then it gets more interesting. But below that, it's not a whole lot you can do. All right, anyone else? But it's a long road. Don't think that you're out of the woods. It's still a long, long road. Continue.
네, 두 번째 질문은 레벨 진전함에 따라서 우울증의 공격에 대응한다라고 말씀하셨는데 그럼 우울증이 마석에서 또 이전 법문에 하늘의 천마랑 관계가 있다고 하셨는데 도대체 어느 정도 레벨에 도달해야 우울증의 공격으로부터 자유로울 수 있는지가 두 번째 질문이고요. 세 번째 질문이 간단하게 더 있어요.
두 번째 질문은 어떤 단계에 가야지?
네, 우울증으로 네 맞아요. 그러니까 왜냐하면 우울증이 천마랑 관계 있다고 이전 법문에서 말씀하셨기 때문에 네.
So I remember, Master, you mentioned about heavenly demon is related to the depression. So what samadhi level will be able to fight off depression?
Looking at you, not this lifetime, honey. So don't go there. You won't get there. Okay, you like soju, right? You like soju, right? Soju, right?
네, 끊었습니다.
Yes or no?
아, 소주 안 좋아하고.
Yes or no would suffice.
No.
No? Okay. There's still no hope for you. Go back to soju. Soju is Korean booze. Might as well enjoy yourself, honey. It's okay. You like meat, right? Barbecue. No?
세 번째 질문은요.
Do you like barbecue? No?
많이 좋아합니다.
You do? Okay, very good. Okay, that's why, forget it this lifetime.
네, 세 번째 질문은 제가 이제 조계종의 절에 다닐 때 이제 아란에 대한 설명을 들었을 때 그때 이제 제가 잘못된 정보를 들었는지 모르겠지만 아란에 되면 생사를 결정한다라고 했는데 정말 솔직히 현실적으로 제가 마스터지 그 찬 클래스에서도 말씀을 드렸는데 마스터보다 빨리 죽을 수 있다. 다시 말하면 어느 정도 레벨이 돼야 자살이 아니라 자신의 죽음을 과보를 받지 않고 결정할 수 있는지 그거를 좀 질문드리고 싶습니다.
So, Master, when I went to a temple from the Jogye order, I learned some information about becoming an arhat, what capability they have, and they could decide the birth and death. What level are we really truly being able to decide our own birth and death?
Let me look at you again.
나 솔직히 조금 빨리 멈춰 주고 싶어가지고
Stand up.
다시 드렸어요.
Master,
빨리 주는 게 안전할 것 같아요.
I think it's safe for me to.
Can you stand up?
Master, I think it's much safer for me to die before you.
You're right. Okay. This woman has a lot of problems. You know, it's funny. When she first came, she came to Wei Mountain Temple a few times, and she came to me and said, "You're not teaching me anymore. I'm leaving you. Why should I come to the temple since you don't teach me anymore? I want to become a fourth-stage arhat." I said, "Okay, goodbye." And amazingly, she's still around. What happened? Were you testing me? Let's forget about the ghost for a while. Can we talk about, were you testing me?
마스터는 제가 알았는데.
You don't remember, do you? You threatened me.
아니요, 기억하고
You feel ashamed of yourself now?
제가 어리석어서 그랬던 것 같습니다.
I think I was ignorant back then.
That's why you never make it this lifetime. It's called crime and punishment. Okay, we make fun enough of her. Okay, anyone else? Here's a question. We've 9 o'clock already, 8. Yes. I hope you're learning something because I don't know what we talked about tonight. Yes.
Dạ bạch thầy, con cũng mới tập ngồi kiết già cũng khoảng chừng mấy tuần nay thôi. Thì ở nhà con có thể ngồi được là chỉ khoảng chừng 30 phút thôi. Nhưng mấy bữa này con tới thì Phật thất này đó, thì con ngồi nhiều lần hơn, nhưng mà mỗi lần thì cũng được khoảng 15-20 phút. Nhưng mà bữa nay thì con thấy giống như là nó nhức hai cái chân con, với nó nhức lên cả cái tay, nó nhức cả cái người. Có phải đó là nó đã thông những cái khí huyết của con không thầy?
Emitofuo Master, I just recently learned how to practice sitting in full lotus, and only a couple of weeks ago. So at home, I was able to sit about 30 minutes. However, during this Fochi, I was only sitting for 15 to 20 minutes. However, today, especially, my body was aching from my legs to my hands and also entire of my body. Does it mean that my chi and blood regulation improve and is breaking through blockages?
That means that when you sit in full lotus, when you cultivate with us, when you practice as per our instructions, and you experience pain and discomfort, and in your case, you're saying you have pain all over your body in many places, that's a sign that you have blockages in those places. And when you have blockages, chi blockages, when you sit in full lotus, when you practice with us, the chi flows stronger as you keep on pushing against those. And that's the amazing thing here, is that when you go see a doctor, acupuncturist, for example, he can only help you one spot at a time, yes? Okay, that's all you can afford anyway, to pay. Okay, so in the Chan meditation, she says her entire body is aching, yes, many, many places. That means that it's the equivalent of getting acupuncture at those places at the same time. So you're healing yourself. Okay, and you keep it up, and we'll break through, and you will be able to improve, and you'll be able to be healthier. Your head will be lighter, and your body will become more flexible, and you have more energy. That's coming. So keep up with it. Anyone else? Yes, 9.
저는 지금 그 발목에 프랙처 골절이 있었고 지금 회복 중인데 아직 그것 때문에 완전히 결과부자를 예전에 앉던 것처럼 편하게나 오래 앉을 수 없어서 없고 결과부자를 하면 발목이 지금 다시 막 붓거나 열감이 생기는 상태여서 거의 앉지 못하고 있는데 그냥 예불이나 방가부자로 앉거나 평절을 한 상태로 명상을 했을 때도 똑같이 기의 흐름이나 치료나 이런 것에 도움이 충분히 되는지 질문드리고 싶습니다.
Master, I broke my ankle and it's on the process of recovering. So what happened is I can't really sit in full lotus like before. If I sit in full lotus, then my ankles get swollen or I feel the heat around my ankle. So I try to sit half lotus or participating in ceremony or sit and regular sit without crossing legs. Would this activity will help with the chi energy and being able to heal the problem for my ankle?
Yes, do you have to put any metal in there, screws in there at all on your ankle?
네, 전혀 안 집어넣고.
Okay, very good. That's yes, right? I have careful with these Koreans. They yes, have some screws.
No screw.
No, that's you becoming American. Now you're confusing me. Okay, yeah. You should sit in half lotus, and even with half lotus, you should feel some heat in your ankle as well. Are you feeling any heat in your ankle? Not as intense as in full lotus. Yes? Okay. So it's a good thing. What you should do also is put some oil and put a lamp there on your ankle while you're sitting. It will help speed up the healing a lot more. And you do that, it will help heal your ankle a lot faster. And again, go very slow. I would not do full lotus at all until you feel, you walk and you like South Carolina there, you walk and you feel nothing at all, okay? Then it's okay to try and start like from square one, build 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 5 minutes and so forth. Go very slow. You're young, you have plenty of time. There's no need to rush it, okay? Play it safe, okay? You learn. Don't get in trouble. It's not necessary. Okay? All right, 8 here. And then we stop. We need to go do the great transference. Yes.
Con chào thầy. Bình thường đó con thiền đó thì không biết sao cái đầu con nó cứ hay gục xuống như vậy, mà mọi người nói con ngủ gục mà con không có feel là con ngủ gục, mà sau đó tự nhiên nó cứ cong xuống, cái đó không biết là nó có bình thường hay là nó có cái gì. Rồi còn hôm nay đó thì con đang ngồi thiền như vậy, tự nhiên con lại bật ngửa ra phía sau, bật thẳng ra luôn mà con không có control được, không có kìm lại được. Thì cái đó là nó bình thường hay là nó có cái gì không có đúng?
You see that woman across, your friend next. You see that woman right there? Huh? She's not normal. Sometimes she goes forward, sometimes she goes back, and who knows? Only God knows what she's doing. So it's a natural for you. For you to go move ahead forward or go backward and fall back, it's a natural thing. Don't worry about it. Eventually, it will clear up. When you meditate, this thing will clear up your head, and eventually it will go away. Okay? I would not worry about it. Okay, it's a good thing. It's a good thing that you fall forward and you fall back. Okay, that's a good thing. Eventually, that this area here will be clear so that it goes straight and you will not have the issue anymore. It's not a serious problem, nothing to worry about. Okay, you have some blockages. That's all. It's pushing through. All right, everyone. Okay, I think we should do the great transference. Okay? Thank you, everyone. There's a lot more, but wait next time. You look better without beard. Anyway.